A very warm welcome to Cromer Lifeboat Station. This is the home of Henry Blogg, who is the most famous lifeboat man that ever lived. There's lifeboats been here at Cromer since the year 1804. That has continued now to date with various lifeboats, and at the moment our lifeboat we have in this station is the Tamar class lifeboat. This came into service in 2008 after the new lifeboat station was built in 1998. Our lifeboat Leicester at the moment has gone back to pool to have some modifications. That is number 7 in the series of the Tamar class. The Tamar lifeboat came at a cost of £2.7 million. If we have a person who is in distress at sea, a ship, they will call Coast Guard, which at this moment in time is based at Hull. Hull will then page ourselves to the lifeboat operations manager, Mr. Richard Leeds. Richard will then page all the crew, and they will normally be here within about 8 to 10 minutes having received that call. We would expect to get this boat down the slipway within 12 minutes of that first call out to sea. Once the coxswain arrives and he has a certain number of crew, we can take a minimum of 5, maximum of 7 of crew out to sea. Obviously it would depend on what that emergency would be, of what people we're going to take on the crew. It could be a long job. One of the worst that you could have out there is fire at sea, and then it could be a long time out there, so that would depend on when the crew could go out. At the moment we have about 32 crew. That includes shoreline crew, because we've got to launch the boat and we've got to recover the boat thereafter. Sometimes it can be too difficult to bring the boat back in on the damage issue, so the boat would then go round to Yarmouth or Lowestoft. So in 1923 our first lifeboat at the end of the pier was built, and along came the Watson class lifeboat at a cost of £10,000. That was from 1923 to 1945. That was superseded then. Henry Blogg's lifeboat was the Watson class lifeboat, which came into service 48 to 1966. And then we had the Ruby and Arthur Reed, which was an Oakley class lifeboat, 1967 to 1985. That was then superseded by a Tyne class lifeboat from 1985 to 2007 to today's lifeboat, the Tamar. We are the only lifeboat station that you will find in the country at the end of a pier. Our lifeboat has to be maintained to a very, very high standard, obviously, because the last thing we need to do is for that boat to go out to sea and break down. So consequently, we employ a full-time mechanic here all the time to ensure that that lifeboat is ready to go out for saving lives at sea. I'm frequently asked that, coming from landlocked Birmingham, how I got involved with the lifeboat. In Llandudno in North Wales was an awful tragedy where 5 young adults drowned at sea in a boat accident, and there's a memorial stone there which says, "Only the tide is certain to return to shore," and that really stuck home with me. So I will always do my best to raise funds for those lads who are going out to sea, make sure they have the best training, the best equipment, and that they come home safe with survivors to the shore.